probably not going to do another Hulk. Actually, no, I did read they were going to do one called Hulk World.
No, that was rumoured. I don't think...
And was that the Planet Hulk one where he,
Yeah, Planet Hulk.
Where he goes and rules over the world and makes everyone fight each other?
Yeah,
because
I don't think it would literally be word for word.
It's as a result of... Because he gets... It was before Age of Ultron was released. There was a lot of people theorising that Hulk would get sent into space with Ultron as a way of getting rid of Ultron. So Hulk would force him to stay in this Quinjet or something, which would then take off into space.
Oh, right.
And therefore Ultron would have been taken away from Earth and everyone would have been fine. And that was then proposed that could lead into either Hulk joining up the Guardians of the Galaxy or into the Planet Hulk storyline, because the Planet Hulk storyline was based off a comic storyline where the Hulk gets banished into space to stop him causing any damage, and then he comes back and he's quite angry about this having happened, so he basically takes over the world.
Okay. Yeah, see, I quite like the sound of that, to be honest.
But it effectively makes the Hulk into a villain, and I don't think that was the sort of decision Marvel would have wanted to take.
Probably
I mean,
not.
they're already sort of doing that with Civil War.
Are they?
Well,
yeah.
If they do it, I mean, I'm hoping they'll change it from the comics, but if they do it as they did it in the comics, then Tony Stark will come across as pretty much a bad guy.
Really? Oh, because he doesn't want power registration.
No, he's pro-registration, but it's the things that are done in the name of the Registration Act. There's sort of illegal prisons and things like that.
I guess he'd be pro-registration because he doesn't really have a superpower.
Well, no, as I understand it, he was originally anti-registration, and then came to the conclusion that if registration was going to happen anyway, it would be better to have superpowered individuals being part of the process so that they could make sure it was being done fairly and wasn't going to cause trouble for anyone. So he then became pro-registration so that he could, he thought, help the process.
That's fairly good reasoning.
But, yeah, the original reasoning is fairly good, but it's what he did in the name of that makes him come across antagonistically.
But aren't they talking about possibly killing him off?
He's in for Avengers 3 as well.
Is he?
Yeah.
I could believe it. I mean,
Well,
I don't think he'd have wanted to be starting off as... Because he's sort of retired as Iron Man now, and I think he'll put the suit back on.
Yeah, he keeps retiring as Iron Man.
They
even said in the Iron Man 3 he will return as Tony Stark.
Yeah.
And then they just bring him back as Iron Man anyway.
Robert Downey Jr. signs with Marvel for the Avengers 2 and 3. But not Iron Man 4.
Yeah.
That's a shame.
How long ago is that from, if it's saying he's signed for the Avengers 2?
2 years ago.
Because that was before they announced Civil War.
That was Captain America, though.
They sign on for a number of films. They don't sign on for specific films.
Oh, no, he's literally signing on for...
Because I heard he had a 6-picture deal, which was Iron Man's 1 through 3, Avengers 1, 2, and we assumed 3, but appears now to be Captain America. I mean, I think, unless they kill him off, I think he will sign on for Avengers 3.
I always heard, though, he was getting tired and felt he was too old to play the role of Iron Man.
But I think, because in the Civil War storyline, there are some fairly major character deaths. So that could sort of send him into a final retirement, in which case he wouldn't be playing Iron Man, which would be a less strenuous role, and he'd be more playing the guy who's funding the Avengers, which would still allow him to take part, but in a more relaxed way, I think.
And at the end of Age of Ultron, it does seem like they're retiring Hulk as well.
Well, I think it's because they don't want to have to explain where Hulk is all the time.
Oh, okay.
Because they've sort of explained where everyone's going. They've got Captain America and Black Widow leading the new Avengers. Thor's gone back to Asgard. Tony's retired. Clint's gone back to his family. But if the Hulk was still in play, every time there was an individual film, they'd be saying, well, why hasn't the Hulk come along to help?
Oh, okay.
But by putting him there, they have an explanation for why he's not there, and then they can bring him back for Avengers 3 without anyone complaining in the meantime.
Oh, okay. Well, I would quite like to see a Hulk film, because I like their new interpretation of the Hulk.
But I'm not sure they could do that interpretation in a solo Hulk film. I think it only works when you have all these other heroes as well, and you see him interacting with
think if they did, they'd definitely have Scarlett Johansson back as Black Widow.
Given what happens in Age of Ultron,
Yeah.
I imagine so, yes.
A solo Hulk picture wouldn't be completely out of the question as long as there were, say, either cameos or major/minor supporting roles from the other
I'd
actors.
have to get Samuel L. Jackson as well if they're going to have Black Widow.
It would be cool to see Samuel L.
'Cause she's
Jackson
not-
come back.
It
Yeah.
would be. But she's not working directly for him anymore. She's no longer part of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Oh, yeah.
Part of the new Avengers with
Lovely.
Vision. And
I love Vision.
Avengers,
guy with the wings, Falcon.
Falcon and War Machine
yes,
and Scarlet Witch.
Yep. So they're the new Avengers, which is probably going to be what Infinity War is going to be them, and then they're going to ask for help from the old Avengers,
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
probably, and maybe Ant-Man's going to turn up, and Guardians of the Galaxy, and everyone's going to turn up in the last one.
And Doctor Strange and
Yep.
Black
Yeah,
Panther
oh
and
my
new
god, there are
characters.
so many films.
Benedict Cumberbatch.
Yeah.
So, well, hopefully that's going to happen because it's got to be explosive, the final film.
Yeah, it does.
Mm.
I think maybe, just maybe, Avengers 3 Part 1 will be the new Avengers, and they will have their arses completely handed to them.
I think they will almost certainly have their asses completely handed to them.
Yep.
I suspect that the old Avengers will help them in that film,
Mm.
but then they will get their asses handed to them. But then I reckon what they'll do is they'll bring up, because the Inhumans film is between the two Avengers films.
Yeah.
So I think they'll then bring in the Inhumans and the Guardians of the Galaxy, and possibly Thor might wait to appear in the second part as backup.
Yeah.
Oh my god, this is getting so excited for all these films.
Well, it's not Return of the Jedi, Revenge of the Sith.
Mm.
It's going to be a kind of Revenge of the Sith film where the bad guys lose. The
bad
good
guys win.
good guys lose.
Yeah.
When the bad guys win.
Yeah.
So it's just going to up the stakes for the next instalment, which is going to hype up so many people, and it's going to be such a big opening, and it's going to make more money than the Avengers did.
I reckon so, yeah.
I just hope it's not like the Battle of the Five Armies. Because I hated that. Well, alright, hated is a strong word. But there was quite a big build-up to it, and then not much really happens.
Well, bear in
I just
mind,
hope it's not one massive battle, that's all.
I think the Battle of the Five Armies in the book, I think it takes about a paragraph and Bilbo gets knocked out.
Knocked out by a
straight away.
rock.
Oh, right.
I mean, the Hobbit films weren't as good as the Lord of the Rings films.
I also really thought they were stretching it by making that book 3 films.
Well, that book is shorter than any of the individual Lord of the Rings books.
Exactly.
Well, they did add loads of stuff from the appendices, though.
Not enough, in my opinion.
No.
Not enough to justify that runtime.
I mean, Toriel is...
Toriel's just completely made up.
Yeah.
I mean, no, the thing about the Battle of Five Armies really annoyed me. It's that scene where Legolas runs up the rocks falling from the collapsing tower.
Oh, yeah.
Like, no, that is not how gravity works.
Yeah, they fall slowly one at a time, so you can just jump from one.
No, but even if
and
they
then,
were,
like, the force
even
of
if
gravity propels you upwards, yeah?
even if they
Because
fell
it's-
slowly like that into
it's
a
like
perfect
opposites
state,
attract,
you couldn't
so,
run
like-
on them.
Fuck gravity armor now.
Yeah, because,
Yes.
like, think about gravity, because you have for every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction, so it's going down. So if you jump on something that's falling down, you get propelled upwards, and then you just keep doing that. It's,
No,
it's just
no.
like walking upstairs, isn't it?
No.
Apart from the
Yeah,
stairs are
definitely.
falling.
Yeah.
It's like going
Yes,
up.
they're
It's going-
falling, so you go down.
Yeah,
It's
they're,
like
they're
going
falling,
up
but for every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. So,
Yeah.
like, it goes down, but it pushes you up.
It's
Yeah,
like,
you get that, right?
It's like you're walking up a down escalator.
Exactly!
Yeah, that is completely true.
Oh my
And
god, I
everything.
love science. Why has no one thought of this?
We've invented a new way of travel.
I hate you all.